So Manchester United and INEOS have officially appointed Ruben Amorim to be Manchester United's head coach, not manager, head coach. And head coach for Ruben Amorim, I think, is very important, not only for him, but for INEOS as well. And I think that this could be a big game changer for Manchester United, having just a head coach in Ruben Amorim instead of just a whole overall manager. So obviously, head coach with Ruben Amorim, he will be taking control of on-pitch stuff, picking the team, the tactics and all the stuff to do with the on-pitch action for Manchester United, what we need to be doing on the pitch to change things up from what we are now instead of everything being an absolute mess. Then we will see INEOS, take control of, the outgoings and the ingoings for Manchester United, the players that we want in, the players that we want out. INEOS will have a big say on all of that, while Ruben Amorim takes just big control of what's going on the pitch. And I think that this could be important because this is the first time that Manchester United have ever done this before. We've got a head coach instead of a manager. And I think that this is good because it's something new. And I think it's clear that INEOS are here to really change things up. We are now here for a big change. And I think that this, having a head coach over a manager, is actually, more of a difference than what people do think. And I like the fact that INEOS have done this. I really do like the fact that INEOS have done this. I really do think that this could be beneficial because I think it definitely helps Ruben Amorim, and it has, it shows that INEOS are really, putting full investment into making this team and this whole club in general much better. And that's what we need. INEOS have come in and, they're really trying to improve Manchester United, which is what we need. And, INEOS, they know what they're doing as well. They brought in the right players, like what they have done in the summer. They spent money, they invested. And that is exactly what we need. And I think it was very clear as well from what we've seen in the summer and how INEOS like to go with their business, bringing in players. I think it's clear, they wanted a head coach instead of a manager, because with Ten Hag, he was a full-on manager. Ten Hag was having a lot of a say in the players that we bring in. I mean, Ruben Amorim will, but it's mostly going to be INEOS doing all of that business. And like a director of football, of course. And I think that this is good. I think this is good. We will have Dan Ashwood as well. Dan Ashwood doing his thing, which I think is important as well. He'll be working well alongside INEOS for what players we bring in, what players, we take out. While Ruben Amorim won't have a load and as much on his plate as much as people like Ten Hag. And I think this is I think that this is a good approach of doing our business now, because it's something that hasn't been done before, and it's something that INEOS believe will work. And I think a big thing about having Ruben Amorim as a head coach as well is that he's a young guy. He knows what to expect from players. He's got the new he's a new style of manager as well. Like, he's a young guy, 39 years old. So, he's now looking at, the modern football now and, what we want on the pitch, instead of like the older managers. And instead now we've got, we've got people behind Ruben Amorim doing the recruiting now, which I think is very important. So I think that this is really good stuff for Manchester United. I think it's good thinking from INEOS as well. Ruben Amorim's now INEOS's first manager as well. They've been looking at it, and I don't think Ruben Amorim's a real rush deal. I think that INEOS have been looking at Amorim for months, and he's INEOS's manager. He's the first manager that INEOS have actually brought in, someone who will actually be able to work behind the style that INEOS want to bring into Manchester United. So I think Ruben Amorim's the perfect pick as Manchester United head coach over someone like Xavi, over someone like Nagelsmann. I think Ruben Amorim is the right pick. And INEOS have been very smart with their business here and what they want and what they want to bring in at Manchester United, and what the style is, what they want to do. So I think that this is good. Ruben Amorim brings a good style as well, the style that INEOS wanted at Manchester United, a good possession-based offensive style, which is which is, going to be entertaining, which is going to be good because we will be able to dictate the pace with Amorim. And that is exactly what INEOS wanted in their style as manager. So it's the perfect pick for INEOS. It's the perfect one. And, looking back now, it looks like possibly INEOS did sack Erik ten Hag at the right time. I mean, it was coming. It was the right time. But now, we've been able to get a good deal in with Amorim pretty quickly as well. Just days after Ten Hag's been sacked, less than a week after Ten Hag's been sacked, we've got this deal in. So I think it's very good stuff. Obviously, Amorim won't be coached until after the international break. But INEOS have dealt with the business very quickly. They've got what they've wanted. And I think we're now in a very good position. And I mean, people saying that this isn't going to work. I mean, people are right to have their doubts. I mean, who knows what's going to happen now? But I think Amorim's a good player to, get players to adapt to him. INEOS, they'll be picking the right players that they want as well, as alongside Dan Ashworth, which is going to be good. So let's see what happens here. Let's see what happens from here. But I think that this is a proper good new era to start with INEOS obviously owning us, with finally an actual director of football in as well. And, it's looking like we have a good recruitment team behind us now as well. We've got an ownership who invests, and we've now got a head coach, which is a big change at Manchester United. So let's see what happens from here. But I think that this is now a very exciting and a proper start to a new era. It's actually a proper new era. INEOS, obviously as owners, we've got a head coach. I think things are looking good for Manchester United right now. Anyway, thanks for watching.